Everybody, welcome back to another episode of Gearhead Perspective. Um, last episode I made the suggestion we all do burnout videos on New Year's Day. Yeah,
Because
Major
Happy New
call
Year.
out.
cool. Happy New Year's burnout party. Fro went out and drove his car.
Yeah.
John went out and did a nice Bernie in his car.
Yeah.
I got thing stomped by Holly. I said it. I said it out loud. I knew I didn't mean to. I didn't plan on it. I told you guys before this I wasn't going to say anything.
Some
Guys,
things
I
aren't
cannot.
meant to
I just
be.
can't. I can't get this deal figured out. It's kicking me in the ding ding, man, over and over, just repeatedly. Sorry,
It's gonna happen.
and I'm not
It's
going to
gonna
edit it. I'm not going to edit it.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah,
I do have some
Anyway.
some interesting subtext to my video when we go into after we go into my video.
so
Have-
you
have
know,
a side story.
I don't know whose video I'm going to play. I'm going to play a video right now. There you go. Excuse me.
Boom.
This is
Gearhead
today,
Pro
Guy right there.
rolling
January
the
1st, 24.
T-shirt and shorts.
That's
Must
okay.
have been-
Normal.
Must have been hot.
It needed a little bit of show.
Yes. Burnouts.
He's getting ready to light them up. I can
Oh
feel
my
it.
gosh. I'm stoked.
He's getting it squared up in the road.
Gotta get it straight.
Yeah, he's got it backed up good. Boom, lighting them
Oh,
up. Almost.
the 207 gears got you.
Yeah.
So funny story that goes along with that. I do still have an oil leak. I found the oil leak thanks to my drive today. I'll get into that later. But when I was pulling the car into the garage, I was like, man, I really ought to check and see if it is even capable of doing a burnout. And I did a nice little happy burnout right here in the garage. And I wish I would have had my camera set up for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have no doubt that car will do a burnout. There's no
It will.
Yeah,
It's,
there's not enough. It's got the heart of a Mustang in it.
Yeah.
The little 5.0
Well-
that could.
If anything, they're good at burnouts.
If anything, the Mustangs are known. They're burnout machines. I mean, they'll mow down a crowd trying to do a burnout.
Well, and my it turns out all of my tire pressures together added up to about 52.
Yeah.
So after fixing that problem, like, yeah, it's ready to go.
That's good. That's good. So let me share.
That's about what my tire pressures add up to. I got a combined 24 in the back. And probably a combined.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, there we go. Look at that. Look at that wheel hop.
Holy will hop.
Really short videos here. My videographer was shaking like a cat shitting peach seeds. He was so cold. it was 30, and we just
Yeah, I
we just
get it.
got it over. We just got it over with and got done.
Today,
So
I told my wife what we were doing. And
yeah,
She's like, well, how are you going to do it? I said, well, I got that tripod deal. I can set my phone on. And she's like, no, I'll go with you.
yeah,
I'm like, you sure? I said, you got to
Nice.
stand outside the car and do this. And she's like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'll do it. Whatever. I said, all right, cool. And then she's like, or I could follow you in my car while I'm standing out on the road. And I was like, yeah, you're smarter than me. Because I was like, you just ride with me. That way, if we break down, we're stuck out in the cold. Cool.
Yeah.
Which, it's only happened a couple times. But so I'm not feeling left out. I'm going to cheat and play. All right. We're going to pretend that happened today.
I'm just going to go ahead and say the videography on that one was by far the best. That guy knows what he's doing.
Pretty solid. Pretty solid.
I think that because this is New Year's Day, I don't care if I date this episode or not, because this is New Year's Day, I'm counting that just because that's how we needed to kick this off.
Yeah.
So to be clear, my car fires up fine. I can drive it around fine.
Yeah.
But if I try to give it any, I can roll into it and it's okay. But if I try to snap that throttle or do a burnout, just like in that video, if you listen, it's it does that nonsense and it cuts
Yeah.
out. Well, today for some reason, it was really bad.
Huh.
I bet I probably really ticked my neighbors off. I sat in my driveway for a good 15 minutes, changing things on the laptop that I looked up that I needed to maybe look into, and then doing practice launches in my driveway.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't count as launches because it wouldn't go.
Right.
It wants to die. You know what I mean? So whatever. I'm telling you what, man.
So it's still just tip in problem.
It seemed like a little bit more today.
Okay.
Watching the fuel maps and the timing maps, they're very erratic. They're bouncing around, acting kind of crazy. I'm not for sure what the heck is going on. And like, you know, guys, the car was at a reputable tuner. The guy knows what he's doing. I trust him 100%. It's nothing to do with the tuner, nothing like that. It's something in this system. I don't feel like it's anything that I've done or I haven't done. I do have the worst luck on the planet, though. I know there's a million people out there with the same exact system with zero issues that are just perfect. I get it. It's just not working out like that for me. So
I get it.
Well,
Sounds
with all
like
that being
it could be radio frequency or something like that, some type of interference.
man, tuner
I
looked
know.
into that too. I moved some wires around. I made some changes. I didn't just start it up. Oh, it's still doing it. I mean, I made some changes, you know.
I got you.
I'm so scared to death to do a fuel injection setup on mine because I'm afraid I'm gonna run into the same stuff. And I'm not barely smart enough to run a carburetor.
You know, though, once it's worked out, it'll be perfect. Like
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was super not gonna go drive around in my car today because I don't know if you know this about the cowl vent. It's supposed to have those kick panels with the deals you can slide open and close. Those are up there. They don't work very good on top of the workbench. So it's just like cold air rushes up your legs the whole time you're driving. Firewalls got to.
You didn't go all roadkill style and wrap up in blankets and stuff.
Man, we could have went homeless style and wrapped up in blankets, but I threw 5 gallons in it. It was enough to get me to the gas station because it was empty when I got home the other day. I threw 5 gallons in it, drove to the gas station. We filled it up. Man, the old ladies were eye banging us going in, like 70-year-old lady. I thought she was going to trip on her handbag going in and out of the gas station. She was all about the Nova, but
it has that effect.
Maybe 80 years old. It was pretty funny. Chris was like, "What's she looking at?" Like the car.
Reminded her of the one she had back when she retired.
Yeah, she probably had one brand new off the lot. But we found a nice quiet piece of half straight, half level road and pulled over for some burnout action. And then it's probably like a 1/4 mile long stretch of straight road between the gas station and home. It's like 10 miles of curves and a 1/4 mile of straight. I thought, well, I'll just leave in second. And it still don't do anything. I did like a 790 leaving in second. I looked over and Chris was white as a ghost and hanging on to everything he could get a hold of. What the hell's wrong with you? It was a good time though. It was a good New Year's Day drive.
Yeah. Good. Took mine around the block and realized that
Car in real good.
So I just put it back in the driveway. But
I found go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I made a comment last show that maybe things changing in the wagon. And I wasn't going to say anything, and I'm still not really going to go into great detail, but someone else kind of posted on social media about my car there's a pretty good chance my car is going to be getting a different fuel injection setup. So it won't be a throttle body anymore. It'll be multi-port. Just kind of waiting on waiting on some things to happen before we, share all that. But I feel like maybe all this headache will go away for me.
It's gonna be fun.
Can't wait.
Speaking of losing a headache, so I've been trying to find that oil leak for a good long time on this car, and it's a pretty substantial leak, but I couldn't really pinpoint where it was at. I thought I had a bolt that was too long, and I thought a couple things. I have a cracked timing cover.
Sweet.
So before mine goes on any type of a long distance drive, I'm going to replace the timing cover on that, and it's cracked right at the bolt hole.
Is that
So
a steel piece or an aluminum piece?
Aluminum piece.
I'll be damn. Huh.
You're muted, Bo.
Yeah.
Sorry. Do I have one of those? Do I have which one you need?
I don't think so. The one I need, Devin ran into this problem when he was switching over to an electric water
You need
pump.
the old one.
I need the old one that's got the dipstick in the timing cover.
Yeah.
And that's go ahead.
I've got an SN and a Fox body cover. I don't have one.
It's funny because from where I sit right now, I can see the SN and the Fox body sitting right here. I actually have your timing covers already.
You already have them? Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
That's all I can do.
But no, I want to keep the dipstick in the front of the motor the way it is right now. So I'm going to replace it with the same timing cover that came off of it. So I think that there's something when I was tightening it up, I think there's something stuck between the timing cover and the block, like just something small, something fractional, but just enough to where when I put enough pressure on it, it cracked right at that bolt hole.
Yeah. And having kids, it's probably a chicken nugget or something.
A Lego.
Or a crayon.
Oh, a Lego. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe a Lego.
Could be one of the kids. Hell, I don't know anymore.
It's probably just like a fingernail or a booger. Could be a hard booger.
Look, this peanut fits right here.
Seen it 100 times.
But today, so the first thing we want to do is wish everybody a happy new year. This being the first day, we talked about this. We talked about the burnout thing, and we actually texted each other today. And it's cold. It's stupid. You shouldn't be out there. But I needed this. I needed the car to go around the block. I needed the car to go around the block bad enough that the videographer on my video is my kid. So yeah. I needed to get out there and record something. I needed to do something with Bo doing everything that he's been doing with the shorts that are going up on YouTube. Those things are, it's crazy how well those things are doing.
Yeah.
We probably got between our group, we probably got about 75 messages last night, just back and forth about how quickly.
Yeah, I apologize. I got a little excited with the screenshot.
No, it was awesome here.
I didn't know you could see all that. That's really cool.
Oh yeah, I can watch it live.
That's crazy.
It updates live.
Huh.
So what they're getting at. So John sent me a video, the burnout video, right? Yeah, it was the video that I took in Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So you sent that to me, and I thought I posted it.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I only had one view, and it was probably from whenever I watched it. Well, I posted another video about our panel, and it blew up. It got, over 2,400,
like immediately.
Views. Yeah. And I'm sitting here thinking, I was like, wonder why that one only has one view. And then you messaged me like, man, this thing never went live.
Yeah.
I'm like, it should have. I don't know why it didn't. So I check it, and sure enough, it was set to private. So I set it to public. And within 15 minutes, we were at 500 views or something.
Yeah.
I mean, it was at 1,900 within an hour and a half last night or something.
And what's weird is I never even got a notification on it.
Well, you don't on shorts.
Oh.
Shorts, you won't get the notification. Yeah.
Very
but
interesting.
yeah, the shorts do good.
Yeah, it's really cool.
The 7-second video of me hitting the purge on the wagon. It's at 2,400 views now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The shorts do great as long as they don't involve a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody likes the dogs on that deal for some reason.
Yeah. I do. I don't
I
care.
thought it was funny.
I'm
I probably watched it 1,200 times.
yeah. Same.
But
Yeah.
yeah, but that stuff's fun. I like doing that too.
If I can make
But
me
no,
happy.
with everything that Bo's been doing with the YouTube stuff, I really wanted to at least have a video when we came into this today. I'm glad that you had a burnout video laying around, Bo. I'm glad that John got a burnout video.
Yeah, I didn't want to go get a burnout video for sure. I didn't
That's
need
real.
the car to go around the block. I didn't need any of that. Well, I needed to sit in my chair and be warm and toasty by the fire.
Yeah.
But
Well,
my friends goaded me into it from 300 miles away. So I did it anyway.
So let's get into the meat of this show. First thing we need to talk about.
Give them the meat, bro.
First thing we need to talk about. Hot Rod Central has another cruise coming up next Saturday. The Fairlane is definitely not going because I need timing cover, but I do intend to go. I've talked to a couple people who are planning to go.
you know what? Hold on. I feel like with a little bit of JB Weld, that deal would probably be okay.
Yeah.
Just saying a little V into it. You know?
Hit it with the old wet weld. That stuff's BA.
Yeah, it is.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys because we're not those people. That hole is full of silicone right now, and I ran a bolt back into it to see if I could get it to stop leaking, and it is not gonna stop.
Huh.
Well, next time, don't Captain Caveman the bolt in there.
Next time, I need to make sure the mating surface is clear, and yes, and I need.
I
to
just
not,
picture you with like your frizzy hair going Captain Caveman and tighten the bolt. You know?
Forearms of doom, engage.
Yeah. All right, sorry.
I have snapped off a 3/8 ratchet while still choking up on the ratchet itself. Yes.
I may have fixed one of my oil leaks too. I had a plug that goes straight into a oil galley that was, I don't know, it don't look like it was sealed worth of crap. So I pulled that out and give us some good tape. I think it might have sealed that up. I had a bunch of oil coming out somewhere, and I think that might have been it. I like 80 pounds of oil pressure. So if you got a leak, you got a leak.
That's true. So, John, does that mean you're going to drive down here and do the Hot Rod Central cruise?
No.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. I do intend to go to this. I will be there, and like I said, I've talked to a few people who are planning to go. Get on their Facebook page, Hot Rod Central's Facebook page, and let them know if you plan on making it, because they will give you, times when they're planning to leave and route that we're going and where we're going. So check that out.
And it's good. It's a good group of people. It's a nice mixture.
It
You
is.
got some older hot rod guides, and there's a few guys that are just pretty much fresh out of high school, but are still interested in the hot rod stuff. And they even have, different rides, but they're still there with the same, mentality. So it's a good mixture of people, good combination of people.
And I never got a chance to talk to Colby this weekend to figure out who did this graphic. But
yeah.
This is a really cool graphic.
I kind of want a sticker of that.
Yeah.
I want a sticker of that with the wagon.
Yeah. Whoever did that, I want to do.
I want my own stuff like that.
Yeah.
I want a sticker of that too.
I don't want one of mine until it's all at least somewhat one color.
Yeah. Well, they can make mine all one color for me.
I'm working on that deal. I've been on the phone all day long with people, trying to get them to come out of my house and start.
Yeah. Get you a shop.
Yeah. Well, I didn't plan on talking about this, and I know Fro's trying to go somewhere. So let me interrupt you.
No, you're good. You're good.
I've been looking. I got some jobs coming up that are pretty neat that I'll talk about later. But it requires me to get a shop. I have to have a shop at this point. I can't do these jobs in my house. It involves some fiberglass work. I'm not going to put my family through having fiberglass dust floating around the house. So I found a couple shops. I'm waiting to see what the deal is with those. I'm talking to my wife. She's just like, she's been trying to convince me to build a shop. We have plenty of room here in our backyard. We got a pretty huge backyard.
Yeah.
So to build right now I'm pricing a 24 by 40 by 12. That's what I'm going to go with. She's trying to convince me just have a shop built, just do it. This first job that I have coming in, the shop won't be built in time, so I will have to rent a shop for at least a month to get this first rotation of things out of the way. I can't wait to talk about that though when it starts happening. That'll be fun. But
It will be.
she said you're gonna end up spending more money on rent, and then at the end of when you're done, you have nothing to show for. Let's put some money, invest some money into yourself, build this shop out here. Within 2 years of working out of the shop and doing jobs, it's going to pay for itself. It's going to add value to our home. You know what I mean? It's there's so many positives to it that, she's right. She's 100% right. It's just a scary thing to pull the trigger on spending, 35, 40 grand on something. Because that's what it's going to be after it's all said and done. 40 grand probably. But, it's, once it's built, we don't have to worry about trying to find a place to work on either one of your cars to make them pretty again. So.
It's true. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, me too.
Attached garage is really cool until you
Have to
go out
paint.
there and do some painting or some welding or use some brake clean, and then you go inside and your whole damn house smells like a welding shop.
Yeah,
That's what my house smells like right now.
Once I get the shop built, I'm giving her the attached garage. This is gonna be her. I'm gonna let her. She's never been able to park her car in here because mine's not waterproof.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be awesome.
Anyway,
All right. You guys want to get into it?
yeah.
We are going to play a little game of Would You Rather. We've done this on the audio shows before.
Yeah.
It seemed to do really well, and we didn't have the advantage of having photographs.
Yeah.
We're gonna go ahead and I've isolated these down into categories. I've isolated these down into years, into styles, into there's a certain set of slides in here that is just my personal preference. But let's go ahead and get into this because I feel like this is going to be a great conversation starter, and I hope that's where we're going with this. First slide on Would You Rather. The year is 1964. Other than the Rambler, which I threw the Rambler in there because I wanted some AMC stuff in here just so I could kind of be fair to everything that was going on. I like the Ramblers. I like the oddball stuff. But I think I know I think I know where Bo's going to go with this. Bo, if you have to choose right now, what we have is a 64 Galaxy 500.
Hold on, you don't have to go any further. That's it. That's the one. That's my baby girl. That's what. Mm-hmm.
We've got a 64 Impala. I believe that's a 64 Plymouth Belvedere, and then a 64 AMC Rambler. Why the Galaxy?
That's the order I would put him in too. That's my top three.
I'm not a Ford guy, but I would tend to agree because that Galaxy just has a little different panache. Does that
something about it?
Yeah, there's just something there.
The Impala's a sexy car too. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah, for sure. If you took the Galaxy off of here, it would be the best.
Yeah,
but that Galaxy is just, and we did a dry run on this, and Fro had really skewed the playing field, we'll say, because he had it was about the same car, only with shaved, like the bumper was cleaned up, the paint was a lot brighter, it had a custom set of wheels on it. It
lowered a little bit.
It was lowered a little bit. It was somebody had made a little bit of street rod out of it. They'd done it just right. And then
still
you had 3 other bone
Yeah.
stock rigs on here. So it kind of skewed the playing field a little bit. We had him put a stock car on here. And even still, it's
yeah.
jumping out
Now,
in front.
I will agree with you to a certain extent. As it sits right here, there's Mopar guys out there that are going to tell you, and I think, man, I'm hoping I'm not getting this wrong. The Belvedere, there were some of those that came with the Hemi. There were some of those that got Hemi swapped and got hot rodded and got raced. They are a cool car in their own right, but that 64 Impala, come on, guys, you throw some hydraulics and some wire wheels on that thing, set it on the ground.
No, that's awesome. That's just not me.
Yeah.
Like, that's where I would go if I had one.
I would do more like 18s and 20s. Maybe air ride. And I don't want to put it on the like all the way on. I don't want to lay frame with that deal. But I mean, like, just a nice cruiser.
Yeah.
There's a car I pass every Monday. It's sitting on a specialty car lot, and it's got a white 64 Impala. It's got the half headlight covers that are gold. It's got gold accents all over it. It's got the wire wheels. I love that car, and it is always beached up right there in the front row. It's sitting on the frame in the front row, and I fall in love with that car every time I go past it. So for me, 64 Impala.
Yeah. Okay. I'm surprised by that.
Yeah.
But I don't blame you. I'm surprised that John went with the Galaxy and you went with the Impala. You guys know where I'm at. The 64 Galaxy is one of my dream cars. So,
and that's part of the reason I wanted to do this slide, is because I wanted to see if you were around in 64. I know Bo has a wide array of tastes.
I do.
So any one of these cars would have been fine for him, but I also know that he has a weakness for the 64 Galaxy.
I tried buying one this week.
The one I like best out of these 4 pictures is that Ford. Now, that being said, I would never shop for one. If I was going to buy a car in this era, I would end up buying an Impala, or honestly, if I was going to buy a 64 or anything, it'd probably be a Nova.
See, and that's the Chevy 2 I thought about throwing up here in place of that AMC Rambler, but that tilts everything towards a Chevy.
Yeah.
And I wanted to keep the 64 Impala because I felt like the Impala was the better model that year.
It's not Chevy's fault they had good looking cars in 64. They had a lot of options.
Yeah.
And
I'm just assuming that if I did ever buy that Ford Galaxy, it's already LS swapped.
No. Coyote.
Give me a W motor. Give me a 409 in the Impala.
No, listen, if you're going to do a modern motor like an LS or whatever in the Galaxy, you got to go Coyote. But I mean, if I was going to, I just want to do like an aluminum headed 393,
Yeah.
Something like that.
See, the great thing on all of these is you could go LS on the Impala, you could go Coyote, or probably even Godzilla on the Galaxy. Both of the bottom cars are going to wind up going with a Hellcat motor. You're going to wind up going with a Hemi.
Any Gen 3 Hemi, right?
Exactly.
Be cool for those.
So let's move forward here. This one I based off of just the front end. I want to go off just the front end on these cars. I couldn't find a Charger facing the same direction as the rest, so you're just going to have to deal with that.
Yeah, front end, back end, middle end. There's a clear winner here.
You're right. It's the Mustang.
It's obviously the Camaro.
So we've got a 69 Camaro Rally Sport here, a 69, I believe it's a Boss Mustang, 69 Charger RT, and one of the Trans Am AMC Javelins, all from 1969. Go ahead, Bo.
No, I was going to say, I think they're all awesome.
Yeah.
I like every
Yeah.
one of them.
Zero chance I would turn down any of these cars.
Yeah. But give me a choice. I'm
Taking
taking
the
a
Camaro.
Mustang. Yeah. Like John says, the
Obviously
Mustang all day.
I love the 69 Camaro with the hideaway headlights. The RSs were awesome on that. The Mustang is like, if you can see the rest of that car is just beautiful. But
That is another one of my dream cars.
Yeah.
Like more so than the Galaxy.
Yeah. I mean, and this is pretty skewed for me because I'm a super big fan of a first gen Camaro.
Yeah, I love them too.
So
I do.
But
It might be my number 3 in this.
I will be the curveball on this one, because I look at the front of that 69 Charger and I see Dukes of Hazzard. I see
Well, that's
all
why I
of
said
the-
Camaro. Camaro might be number 3 for me.
I see all the
Charger,
Fast
Camaro.
and Furious movies. I see the Blade Charger. I see, like, there's so many movies that have a 69 Charger in them, or a 68. And the only difference between those two is, at the risk of making the purist mad, is that split running right down the middle of the grill. The 68, 69, the easiest way to tell those things apart is by the taillights. I know there are a lot of people out there who have the opinion that the 68 Charger has the good taillights. I like the 69 taillights better. But that's not the point. The point of this is the front end. I lean towards the Charger on this one, just because I lean towards all of the TV shows and movies that I've watched for the last 30 years.
Can't get enough of that Mustang.
I'm going to have to change it.
I think I would be that like Bo, the Mustang would fall to number 3 for me. Cause that Charger is just solid number 2.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, I grew up around. I had an uncle who had probably 7 different Javelins. So I grew up around that body style of AMC. I like them. They're just not something that really stuck with me.
Were the
Moving
Dodge
on.
just bad drivers? Is that why there's no Dodge? There's
Pretty much
Camaros and Novas and Trans Ams and Mustangs out the wazoo, and you gotta scour the earth to find Dodge stuff.
It's true.
And it's
Most of it got
$11
restored
billion.
or destroyed on Dukes of Hazzard television show.
Right.
All right. So the year is 1974. I'm going to let you guys vomit real quick.
I love Mustangs. I'm a Mustang guy. It's the worst Mustang ever built. I'm saying it right now.
Does the thing have a lift kit?
Yeah.
I believe so. Yes, it was the thing to do back then, to have them at least tall in the back. That one, I would say, is tall all the way around.
Yeah.
That's the Baja Cobra 2.
The Baja Cobra 2.
The funny thing is, I had to dig to find a picture that good of that era of Mustang.
You know, I've seen renderings of this body style Mustang, renderings where they make it look really, really cool, but you can't do that in real life. So,
Yeah. So
I mean, it's just a Pinto.
you got the was that a Duster?
So we have a 70, the year 74, we have 74, and I can't remember if it's a Duster or a Demon. Again, Dodge guys skewer me, I don't care. A 74 Gremlin, which I kind of cheated there because those two look cool, and then the Mustang looks all right. There's a 74 Mustang 2, and then you've got the 74 Vega.
The Vega.
I
I always liked the Gremlin, like the cliche of it all, but no way I would take any of those cars over that Duster.
No, the Duster's a clear winner.
The Duster, yeah.
With that being said, I do like Vegas, but I like Vega wagons. I do like the Hemi Grimmy. I would want to do
Yeah.
that. That's pretty neat. The Mustangs, that's a horrible car. I don't care what anybody says. That's just my opinion.
They're just
Whatever.
not even pretty.
But I told you guys today, I sent a message to y'all, and I said, man, I had a scary moment. I almost messed up and got a 76 Vega wagon today. So it's a roller, but it's a chassis car, big tire. Obviously no motor, no trans, no fuel system, no electronics, but it's got all suspension, Willwood brakes, all the good stuff, shifters there. There's some gauges in there, whatever. I mean, it wouldn't take much to make this deal, nice lightweight car. And I like the wagon. I like that body style. I offered the guy my golf cart and the Terminator X system off my car. He was like, yeah, send me some pictures of the golf cart and stuff. See what we can do. So I sent him some pictures and he's like, man, we can probably make this happen. He's like, where are you at? I said, I'm Northeast Oklahoma. And he goes, I'm in Rome, New York, right? And I said, yeah, that's fine. I'll drive a little bit more than halfway. So I'll meet you in Akron, which would be a 12-hour round trip for him. He's an older gentleman. He was like, man, that's just too much driving for me. Sorry. So, but I panicked for a minute because I thought, man, I just traded off my golf cart and my Terminator stuff for a car that I don't need, that I don't have the parts to finish, to complete right now. But I'd have done it.
If he calls back midweek and says, hey, I'll meet you in Akron, I bet you we're going to Akron.
Yeah, we're going to Akron. Yeah, because I like that car. I can't believe I didn't send you guys pictures. It's lime green and black.
Oh, man.
It's not bad, though. I don't know. Anyway, sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. So John, which one are you going with here?
Duster.
Duster? Bo,
Yeah.
Duster?
Yeah, it looks like Mike's car.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's how I remember Mike's car looking.
Yeah.
I don't know if his had the same hood, but
I don't think it does. Mike's car's never been that nice.
I mean it.
I like Mike's car. He knows that. That's his car now.
I love that car.
Of his cars, that's my favorite car.
Yeah.
That he's owned. So anyway,
I'm going Gremlin, not just because I'm going to go against you guys on every slide, but because I like the Gremlin. I've always liked the Gremlin.
You sure that slipper fits, Cinderella? You gotten in one of those before?
Lube up and get in there.
I have driven a Gremlin before. Surprisingly roomy for the driver.
Hey,
Really?
did you guys see the really nice Gremlin to the J. Cruise night last year?
I did.
It was right next to me in traffic when we first got into town. Anyway,
there's also the Gremlin that was at Rocky Mountain Race Week. That one's also like an antifreeze green car.
Yeah,
got the hater pipe sticking up straight out of it.
I like that car.
So the passenger has no clear view of the road.
Well, yeah,
it's pretty cool rig. Sorry.
Here we are in 1993.
We entered 93.
We got a Corvette. We got a Fire Marrow. We got a Mustang, and we have a Viper.
This
has actually already caused some arguments between all of us. Should we have went with the Cyclone or the Typhoon instead of the Fire Marrow?
No,
I don't know. It's no more exotic than the Viper is, but we were talking about it.
But Dodge didn't have anything to put up there.
Yeah, there was a Dodge
Intrepid,
Shadow.
I almost
Plymouth Stealth. It was no.
That's what I was going to say. I almost went back a year and pulled up the Dodge Stealth.
A Dodge Stealth probably would have been better for this deal, but it doesn't matter because the winner's the Fox body.
Yeah,
nobody can argue with me on this one.
Man, I'm not gonna lie. If that car just showed up today, I would pull my big block Chevy and turbo 400 out and throw it right in a Fox body for sure.
I'm just
There's a
amazed.
reason.
Go ahead.
So there's a reason there's 5 million Fox body race cars.
Well,
Those-
one,
And
they
they all
made,
have
they made billions of them cars.
Well, they work.
They were well, but when they made them, they were a really nice kind of a hot rod you can buy right off the factory floor. I mean, it's
the good thing is they made as many of those as they made of LSs, so
yeah,
you can just
Yeah.
do that all day long.
yeah.
The Coyote is an option now. That's what we're going with.
But it's a really, like, once you surpass all, like, you get past LS, small block Chevy, big block Chevy, even building out a good 302, then you get to the Coyote and say, well, let's go to the effort of doing that.
I'm surprised that there's a Fox body out there that somebody got a picture of that doesn't have sagging springs in the back. You're muted.
Sorry, that one's pretty close.
that one's pretty close. It's not sagging, but it is a shade low in the back.
That's
In
a
3
really
weeks-
clean. That's a really clean Mustang. There's a joke in there too. That's a really clean Mustang sitting in front of a little less clean Mustang.
Mhm. I was waiting if either one of you was going to call out the trash can. So.
That's a Mustang 2 behind it.
The dumpster. Yeah, there we go.
There you go.
The Fox and the Cobra 2.
So the Corvette, man, those things they get hated on a lot, but I ain't gonna lie, I'd put my big block setup in that deal too. I wouldn't drive it
You know,
like that. I don't know. I might drive it like that just to.
I wonder how many people are going to listen to this and go, why are they talking about the Fox body when there's a Viper right there?
Man,
I-
the Viper was a poster car.
Yeah, it's
It
a
was,
poster.
it was like, I don't know.
I like the Viper. It's my number 2 on this page.
The Viper was a poster car. The Viper is it's not attainable for folks like
Yeah.
us. And even if you got a hold of one, you're not going to hot rod it anyway.
What's
Yeah,
what's
I
a Viper
would.
cost nowadays?
I don't know. I'm looking it up right now.
Are you really?
Yeah.
But back
Yeah.
then, this would have been one of the first 2 years of the Viper. So this one would have came with like pop-in windows and a pop-in top. So and when they first came out, they weren't exactly
Nice.
a good decision for people who live in.
Here's an 09 Viper for 69,000. 34,000 miles.
$70,000. That's crazy.
Yeah. There's an 08 that's much cooler for 85,000. There's a 95 Dodge Viper in Oklahoma City right now. It's yellow. It doesn't have those wheels. It's got aftermarket wheels. For 47.3, which is a weird number. But it's got 15,000 miles on it. So they are attainable.
Yeah.
That car, that year car.
Not for me.
I mean, I feel like if you really wanted it,
Yeah. You could buy a Viper.
you can make some really dumb decisions and get it.
You could put a trailer hitch on it and get a little trailer to haul all your kids in.
That's
Man, I'm not
exactly
a
where I was
yellow-
going with it.
I'm not a yellow fan, and they really did a lot of yellow accents on this Viper.
Now, as far as the Firebirds and the Catfish Camaros from that era, I did like the Camaros, but they were never a good car. They were never a car that everybody wanted. They were always a car that you don't see them out on the drag strip. There's not a lot of people who are hopping those things up.
There's like 5 Vipers in Joplin right now for sale.
Yeah.
Anyway, I like them. I think they're cool.
But I think all three of us are on the same page on this one. It would be the Fox body. That it's just the better car out of these three.
Yep. Fox body, Viper, Corvette, Transfire Marrow.
Transfire Marrow. Love it. All right.
Ooh.
So these are the factory race cars. I tried to pull all of those up. I believe they're all in the 2011, 2012 range. Basically, this is a Copo Camaro, a Cobra Jet Mustang, and a drag pack Challenger, which now that I look at this picture, that's not a drag pack Challenger because the hood's wrong. But somebody could have changed that. Which way are you going with this one, fellas?
You already know the answer. I'm going Cobra Jet.
You're going Cobra Jet?
Oh, yeah, all day. I just
No
like
doubt.
that Mustang body style better than the other two. They're going to perform close.
Yeah. I
I
would
just like the
say
body style.
they're all right there in the same range. We could probably bracket race these deals.
Not only that, my very first tattoo was a Cobra.
Yeah.
I took an emblem off of an old Cobra Mustang into the tattoo shop, and that was my very first. It's for my 18th birthday. So if I chose anything other than a Cobra, that would make me just ridiculous.
I would be remiss if I didn't say that Copo Camaro is where it's at. I would if I ever win the lottery, I won't tell anybody, but there'll be signs because I'll be driving one of them daily.
With all my new friends.
We'll be
I'd be going to Cars and Coffee.
McDonald's drive-through in my Copo Camaro.
I'd be going to Cars and Coffee every weekend or whatever it is. Coffee. What is it? Help me out. I'm struggling.
It's Cars and Coffee.
Cars and Coffee. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Cars and Coffee on Saturday morning and Cars and Cones on Saturday night.
Yeah, I need to get a Viper to go to the Saturday morning though.
Or the Corvette. Both work. I mean, both
the
are.
Viper you just sent me.
Some shorts and some New Balance.
Yeah. The Viper you just sent me a while ago, that thing's bad news.
I know. That's the first one that came up for me. That it was a sign.
Yeah. That's not a street car.
No, I would the Copo Camaro, the Super Cobra Jet, I realize those are not technically street cars, but they are. Come on.
But I don't know how the program works for Ford. Last I heard, and I may be wrong, I'm sure somebody will tell me if I'm wrong. The Copo Camaros don't have a VIN.
No,
like you can't tag them.
Nope.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, and I know there are some people out there who have found a way to tag them. I'm curious as to how that has worked.
They got tribal tags somehow.
Yeah, we would figure that deal out. I got a builder's title here. We'd figure out how to.
No, this ain't a Copo Camaro. What crazy person would try to put that on the street?
Kind of drive a Copo Camaro to Sonic.
Yeah. Anyway, the Cobra is better. Look at the wheels; are even nicer.
The wheels are nicer.
It's got a nicer set of, but I don't know. That Dodge, I think, has the market cornered on the wheels. I'm pretty partial to the Dodges too. I mean,
the Dodge is pretty tough. I would go Ford, Dodge, Chevy on this one.
Yeah,
I would go Chevy, Ford, Dodge.
Wow.
I don't even know you.
I like the Copos. I do. I like the way they look. And that's probably one of the things we need to cover on a future episode is how does that body style measure up to the 69s?
No, they're all cool. They're all awesome cars. But
I would definitely take all three. I would just end up selling the Ford and the Dodge and buying a second Copo.
I probably want to buy a trailer and a truck.
Yeah. Yeah. Might need one of those. Need a bigger garage.
So next one's a little complicated.
Not for me.
So, there's a lot going on in this picture.
In the upper left-hand corner, you have the Hirohata Merc. This is a legendary car. Disappeared for a long time, was found, was rebuilt. Very unique qualities to that car, which I'll get into at some point. The upper right-hand corner is a car called Bumungus, which was built by Troy Trepanier. It's an early 90s car. The picture, lower picture in the center is Cadzilla. Now, of course, if you don't know who Cadzilla is, why are you even watching? That's Billy Gibbons' car.
Look it up.
Where are we at on these three?
You know where I'm at. Cadzilla for me.
Yeah,
John?
I tend to agree with Bo. Cadzilla is pretty much where it's at. The pea green, I don't know what you call that because I can't hear that good. What's the top left one, Fro?
There's the Hirohata Merc.
Okay, the Mercury in the top left is also in that. I think they're both the same caliber of car. It looks like they both have more of a timeless feel. The orange and maroon car over there, Troy Trepanier built. It looks super 90s. It's got features and paint styles that look a little dated. I wouldn't turn any of them down, but if given an option, I would be taking that Cadzilla for sure.
I would need a stack of phone books with a Cadzilla so I could see. But
Yeah, I don't know how you see out of that deal.
I don't think you need to. People just get out of your way.
I'm wondering, like, if I pull into Sonic in that, like you can't even get up far enough to be able to hit the red button.
I don't think so. I don't think that's a Sonic car.
Maybe not.
So let's run through some of the finer details on some of these cars. The Hirohata Merc was built back in the 50s by George and Sam Barris.
Hold on, that car was built in the 50s?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Then it's really nice.
And actually, let me double check that. I want to make sure. Because it is a 49 Merc, and I believe from what it's showing, it was built in 53. Like there wasn't a whole lot of time for that thing to be fresh and new before it became fresh and new again.
Well, because that's a nice build for today. Like John was saying, that's like a timeless design. Like that's a killer car now.
Now it's not without its quirks. That car does not match from one side to the other.
How do you mean?
Like you see the little scoop on the back where the fender skirt is?
Yeah.
That scoop doesn't have as many teeth on the other side. It's just a little bit different from one side to the other. The way they
roll that away.
It is a little bit different from one side to the other, but it is, as you said, a timeless car. It is widely regarded as one of the greatest customs of all time.
Now I feel like we've said this before. You can't see both sides at the same time.
I think that was kind of the point of the build, was you can't see both sides at the same time. But that is one of the little quirks of that car. Bumungus, which is, again, built by Troy Trepanier, that is a side hinging hood. So it actually tilts up to the passenger side.
You know, I bet you that car is second to none as far as quality, though.
Yeah, it's.
You know what I mean?
I bet it's still in that shape today.
Yeah, I bet you it's just, Of course, that's his thing, man. He builds amazing cars.
He does, and
this one is dated, whatever. But I think if you sent this back to him right now, say, "Hey, modernize this deal,"
it wouldn't take much.
I don't think there'd be a lot of changes made. I bet you he could do it no problem.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if he built another one, just a newer.
Honestly, a little bit of change to the paint and the wheels, and that leaps forward.
Well, in the early 90s was a time when it was hip to do monochromatic paint jobs. So the grills got painted the same color as the body.
I still like it.
I still like it.
I did it. I did it too.
Now,
I'm not
if you
comparing
were
my
to,
wagon to that car. I'm just saying I did the
if you
same
were
Yeah.
to go chrome on that grill and go chrome on that rear bumper, does that change the look that much, or do the wheels really have to go? Because those are like an old Boyd Tri-Fan style design.
I think
Wheel-
the
wheels
front
got-
wheel definitely has to go.
The
The
back
back
wheel, you
wheel,
can't see it anyway.
the back wheel, you don't see enough of it anyway, and it's got a 30-inch tall, 18-inch wide tire back there anyway.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But the front wheel would have to go to like an 18-inch wheel, something, more modern.
Now, Cadzilla was the brainchild of Billy Gibbons and a large group of people. One of them being the chief GM designer of Cadillacs at that time. That is a 48 Cadillac sedanette. There were a lot of hands that went into that car, not the least of which was Boyd Coddington. There were a lot of people who had input on that car. The reason I chose these cars in particular for this slide, I've read Hot Rod magazine since I was 12 years old. These were all staples in Hot Rod magazine at the time when I was most susceptible to the magazine's charm.
Most impressionable time of your life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they did almost a full build up on Cadzilla, and then the editor in chief and I believe one of the feature editors took that car on a 2,000-mile road trip. Like they drove that thing across country. And that's what impresses me the most about that car, because it is drivable.
You know what impresses me the most is
What's
they
that?
took this car and they did so many body modifications and so much work, and it still looks so simple and clean. And unless you know what's been done to it, other than the obvious, the top and stuff, it's going to be hard to tell. And that's one of the things that these great builders do.
It's true.
Look at Chip Foose, and his whole goal is to make a dramatic change, but make it look like it came like that, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what they did here, man. I mean, there's so much modification. You can't, if you know the car, you know the history, then you can, I'm sure you know most of every body mod they did. But the person that doesn't know this car, they couldn't come tell you everything that's been done just by looking at a picture.
Well, and at this time
Impressive.
period, this would have fallen right in the area where Chip Foose was actually still working for Coddington. This would have fallen into the area where I believe Jesse James would have still been working for Coddington. There were a lot of big names that came out of his shop that worked on projects like this. So there's no denying that there's at least some influence there. And at the time, Boyd Coddington was building the best there was out there. You had young guns coming up like Troy Trepanier, who was building stuff like Bumongus and building stuff like the Sniper. Bumongus is another one. That picture is actually a centerfold that came out of the Hot Rod magazine in whatever year they featured that car. And it's tragically 90s, because once you pop that door open, it's tweed. It's
Mild.
one step away from Flexstone in there. But it's again something that affected me.
We should have threw up the is it Chazoom or is it Chazoom?
I thought about Shazoom.
That car.
Shazoom is very similar in style to Cadzilla.
It would have fit in here.
I wanted something that kind of bridged the gap between Cadzilla and the Hirohata Merc. With me, if I'm given a choice between these three cars, I don't think I could possibly do it. I think my head would explode.
You had to make a decision right now.
If I had to make a decision, if you gun to my head, make a decision right now, Hirohata Merc. And I know you didn't expect it.
I know I'm with you. You know why? Because I think that car, with a couple of changes, I would like it just as much as Cadzilla.
John, where do you stand on this one?
It's really hard to make that choice. Godzilla, knowing that you can drive that car.
That's true.
The
That's true
Merc,
too.
there's
The
something about
Merc
them.
is still. Last I checked, the Merc is still a flathead Ford powered car,
Yeah,
so it's not going to be as drivable.
it might be a little less drivable, but man, there's good luck finding somebody to turn down any of those three cars.
And that's kind of where I was at on this slide. I wanted this slide to be the tough one for us, but I think you're right. Though. I think Shazam would have been a better choice.
Yeah. So my brain says Godzilla, dummy. That's the car.
Yeah.
One, what are you hesitating? But my heart is going, I don't know, man. Look at that. You know, that there's I don't know. But I like weird stuff. All these are not weird, but different.
Yeah.
So I would have a tough time between the Godzilla and Troy's car.
But quick question for you, Bo, without looking at your screen right now.
Okay. I'm staring at you.
What color is Godzilla?
Purple.
Yes, it is an eggplant purple. There are so many people who think that car's black. It is not.
No, definitely not black.
But no, if I had to make a choice, it would be the Hirohata Merc, just because I enjoy the history that goes along with that. Sam Barris didn't build a lot of cars before he passed. This was one of those cars that sticks with me.
Hold on. I agreed with you on that. I didn't mean that car. I didn't mean the Merc.
Okay. What did you mean?
I meant Troy's car.
Oh, you want Humongous?
I think so, man. Yeah.
You want the Tweed? You want the Trifans?
I said with a few changes.
Yes.
That car to me would be a lot better. But with it being built in the early 90s, it was, it was the stuff then. You need to update it a little bit.
And I agree.
I just feel like I could go out and hot rod that car and do burnouts and the Godzilla, I would feel bad for doing that.
See, but I want to throw this out here. I want to go ahead and say this. So you say, John, that Humongous is dated. It is a car that you can tell when it was built.
Mm-hmm.
Do you not think the Hirohata Merc is something that you can look at and immediately know when it was built?
Nope.
Really?
I like crap myself when you said it was built in like the 50s.
Me too.
Like that looks like somebody could build today. Looks like somebody could have built that in the 90s, the 80s. I mean, it's just the only thing that's going to change is the quality of the materials they're using.
Agreed.
I mean, I don't know a lot about it, but I think your paint and body materials advances there are pretty significant over the last 70 years since that car was originally built. But I could see somebody building that car today, and those colors aren't really crazy out there. They're there. It's got just the right amount of chrome on it.
I love the color.
Nothing really dates that car.
Do you think Godzilla's dated?
Godzilla, I don't think there's anything that really makes that car. If that car had a two-tone, if that car had some swoopy lines with the paint, that would make it dated. If they'd painted all that chrome, it would have that would have done it.
If it had 15-inch billet wheels on the front,
15-inch billet wheels, yeah. Put a set of what are those ones that are just the two swoops?
Assassins is what they're called.
Yeah, put those on. Put those on. And watch everybody turn and run.
Those were late 90s, early 2000s wheels.
Yeah,
that was one of the first cars to run that size of wheel. I believe that is a 20-inch wheel, and that would have been one of the first cars to run that size wheel. Does have
Yeah,
an awesome license plate that says I ate Tokyo.
I don't know what you could do to Cadzilla to make it any more modern or look up to date.
There's not really anything you can do there.
Now, John, does it sway you at all to know that there are 2 matching Harley Davidsons that go along with Cadzilla called Hogzilla 1 and Hogzilla 2?
Makes it all the more desirable.
Uses the same rear fender design, and it's like a 91 soft tail, and they just kind of molded the headlight in a little better and used that same rear fender.
Well, I've never had an orange bike. John, I know you have, but I can build an orange bike to match my car up there.
Yeah.
Be a fat tire.
Do we have more slides? That's the big question. We do have at least one more slide, and I don't remember what it is. So let's move forward. Oh,
Boom.
The marketplace thing. We got to do the marketplace thing. I totally forgot about it.
Yep. I sent you this. This was my find.
So you actually sent me quite a few. I'm having some trouble. I'm adapting to a new phone. So I had some trouble getting the other ones over to myself. So we're going with this one.
I need to give you like a crash course on how to use an iPhone.
I know.
They're so easy to use.
I have to relearn it.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it. So this is a 76 Ford Club Wagon.
I like wagons.
No. This is a 76 Ford Pinto wagon.
Oh, yeah.
Nice drag car, well built or wheel built. I don't know. 351 Cleveland, Power Glide, 9-inch Ford, 4-link, 2x3 frame, A-arm front, coil over rear, ready to race.
All right.
John,
Perfect.
how are you feeling on this marketplace deal?
Sunoco hood, let's go run it.
Yeah, throw a hood on it and let's go to the track. Or let's go to Sonic, whichever.
Let me do something with that interior first.
Yeah.
Let's change that.
I spend way too much time fawning over all these other Novas and Camaros that are like, there's 11 billion cars for sale right now that are just a little nicer in some ways than my car. And then you look at a lot of them and the interior looks like this, and you're like, man, you gotta do a lot of work to make that where it looks like it has because a lot of the stuff we do, you need a factory style door panel, you need a factory dash, or at least a similar to factory dash, stock floor pans to the back of the driver's seat. And let's face it, some creature comforts that a lot of these cars don't have. This one don't have a lot of creature comforts. You'd have to do a lot of work bringing this up to date.
Yeah. I'm willing to do that work.
Yeah. But once you're there, you're there. Not in love with the banana cream yellow off-white. Well, I don't even know what that is, paint. But it looks good.
I know a guy that can change that.
Yeah. I agree. I don't like the color. I feel like there's something off on the wheel and tire package in the back.
I don't hate the color.
I don't hate the color. I think the color would look nice if you smoked those windows. And I don't think the wheel and tire package is that off at all. I think it's nice. I think them tubs are just the right size. Like, you need a tub that comes all the way up to the bottom of the door, the window glass.
Yeah.
Just right for putting a small tire.
A small tire. A 30-inch.
Yeah. That's a cool rig.
Yeah. I'd drive it.
So how do we feel about it at $13,500?
I'd have to go drive it first. I have to check it out. But that's
so this is maybe make somebody mad. This is one of them cars that should just be sold as a roller, because that Cleveland, and it's gonna go away. I mean, 351 is cool for what it is, but yank it out and sell it to a guy that wants to run a 351. And
I've said it a bunch this show, but I feel like a coyote swap's the only way to go with that. Hey, a coyote with a Whipple in that deal.
hey, coyote with a Whipple, that thing would be mean.
That'd be gnarly.
I think it'd be going to town. And it'd be
So
probably a pretty reliable rig based on what
Oh.
you see on the internet.
Yeah, well,
I mean, those fellers are running 9s with a coyote and a Whipple, and they're running them down the interstate.
I had a lengthy conversation with a guy who's got two F-150s with coyote motors, both with Whipples, and to a certain power level in his current truck now, he said on safe boost levels, and it's a street truck, it's 4-wheel drive, single cam, short ride bed. So he'll go out, make 990 passes, 10-0 passes on the street all day.
On the street.
On the street. And he says it is awesome. He's like, I don't care what's on the street. I'll race anybody in town on the street. I'll wear them out. There's nothing else on the street going to do this. He says now I crank that boost up. He goes, it may last 5 passes. It may last 20. I don't know. But at this level, 990, 10-0 street stuff, he says it's perfect.
Yeah.
So this solenoid that's back behind the shifter here, is that like an electronic solenoid for shifting?
Looks like it.
Yeah.
I'll be darned. I'll be darned. All right.
I would love to have one of those.
I think I'm ruined. I think I only look at wagons anymore. That's all I look at.
I spend far too much time looking at other people's Novas.
There are some really killer Novas on Marketplace.
There are, but then I get to looking at them and I'm like, man, that thing is way nicer than my car. Except for I've already done a ton of work to my front subframe.
Yeah.
I'd want to pull my front subframe out and swap those. Because
have you seen the light blue
subframe?
The light blue Nova that's got a straight 6 in it, but it's like all original and just perfect?
I don't know if I've seen that.
It's like they want $9,500. Anyway, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, send it to me. I'll save that one and not buy it.
Yeah,
but
it's perfect in every way.
I look at a lot of these cars though, and the I got a little bit nicer subframe. I got a little bit nicer, the whole engine compartment, and then I got a really nice core support. I got a nice subframe. It's already the way I want it. Got a nice 9-inch that's built the way I want it. And a lot of those cars, man, they look nice. They look like they're way better put together until I get to digging into them. And all they are is prettier than my car.
Yeah.
So a little discouraging. And I don't want something that's all tin work inside.
No, this one I'm talking about, it's own stock car. It's just it looks brand new.
It's about time for you to just go ahead and move a couple of years forward and move up into the disco era Novas.
No, I'd go back where I'd go forward. I'd go straight into a shoebox before I went to a disco.
That was one of the slides I wanted to throw in here. Was I wanted to look at like Tri-5 Chevys versus you can't really compare a 56 Chevy versus a 56 Ford versus a 56 Dodge. They are all equally cool in that time period as far as I'm concerned. But I do have some ideas on where I want to go with some future episodes and how I want to kind of look at the whole would you rather thing.
Yeah.
But
I did have a good Facebook Marketplace find this week. I didn't get it over to you in time to splash it up there and reach the audience, but we will save that one for next show.
For a future episode.
There will be more. Because some of these people, I don't know. I don't know if they just talk to text and maybe they were drunk when they were posting the ad. What the deal is, but man, some of these people get pretty comical with their Facebook Marketplace advertisements.
Yeah. Well, some people try to make him funny.
I think so. Yeah.
I mean, some of them are clearly
Some of them are clearly just typing the way they would talk.
Yeah.
And obvious that they're just talk to text and now it's posted out there. Now, some of them are trying real hard to make it funny. I think I sent you one the other night with I forget what that car was, but that
BMW. It's a BMW.
yeah, the BMW. That guy was trying real hard to sell that car, and it's really hard to believe because it looked like he was just in love with it.
Yeah.
It was a good find though.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that brings us to the end of another episode. You guys did you guys have at least have a happy new year?
Yeah, my wife laid down with my little girl at about 8:30, and the last time I seen her or my daughter last night until this morning.
Yeah.
You know,
We
I got
cool.
a text from John saying happy East Coast New Year because he wasn't going to make it to Central.
I don't stay up that late, man.
Oh, I stayed up to about 1, but
Oh wow.
yeah.
I was up later.
I'm not doing that voluntarily.
Yeah. I may have took a few little naps, dozing off in my chair
Yeah.
between 10:30 and 1, but whatever.
My children did not want to go to sleep last night, so I was probably up later than you, and I was probably still chasing a 2-year-old at that time.
Jeez.
We
That
went
little melatonin. You got to get that little melatonin gummy and toss it in.
She was up at 6:30 this morning too.
Yeah,
we
me
went
too.
to the neighbor's house for New Year's Eve festivities. And as soon as that ball dropped, we got home. Old man had to get to bed.
I actually worked last night, and I think it's probably one of the slowest New Year's I've ever seen. I don't think a lot of people actually got out this year. I think it was one of those where everybody celebrated from home, and I think it's not such a bad idea.
Yeah. We had about, I think it's about 3 houses up that we had to walk. So very safe commute.
Absolutely.
Hey, speaking of walking, I got in on the old waffle for one of our local speed shops for a scooter the
Yeah.
other day.
Yeah.
Did you see that? You know which one I'm talking about? Oh,
Uh-uh.
Barron's Speed Shop in Joplin. They do waffles,
Yeah.
and it was $20 for a spot for one of those cool electric scooters.
Yeah.
Beaterbaum, I guess Beaterbaum sells them. That's one of his gigs. He sells them like $400.
Yeah.
But it's a $20 spot. So I'm like, I've never done it before, so I bought a spot.
Yeah.
I didn't win, obviously, but I showed Devin earlier that day that I bought a spot for this scooter. So guess who texted me like 3 hours later and said, "Look what I ordered." Devin found the exact scooter on a different site that I'm not going to mention for a different price. So he's got his on his way. So as soon as his gets here, I'm going to ride it. I'm going to check it out. If it's cool, I found a good spot for us to get scooters.
Really?
Yeah,
Perfect.
exact same thing.
Shanda was she was at Sam's the other day and she sent me a text. She says, "Is this the scooter you want?" And I said, "Man, I don't know. I really want to try one out because it's got to be fat boy friendly."
Oh, this one is. This one's
Yeah.
yeah. And it goes up to 19 miles an hour on a scooter. I don't know if I want to do that.
19?
I need to turn that baby down a little bit.
Yeah.
But Devin was saying he's going to try to use it when he's on the road with the monster truck stuff.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
Like, yeah. So
I would
I gotta throw that out there.
I would love to have a scooter. I've got like a trail bike that I could possibly use for a pit bike, but it's like huge. It's super fat boy friendly.
Yeah.
Big fat tire trail bike. I really want just a scooter, something that you can collapse and throw in the trailer or throw in the back of the car. And
Not me. I want a late 80s, early 90s Honda Spree.
yeah, well, you can haul that shit yourself.
Well, like I said, that brings us to the end of another one. I believe we may actually do this again on a couple episodes coming up. The marketplace thing, everybody seems to like that. So we're going to keep rolling forward with that. We ain't gonna be able to edit that.
I'm leaving it.
For sure, my chair.
New Year's
But-
beans kicking in.
Oh
Black
man,
eyed-
that's what I didn't do. I didn't get to go eat my black eyed peas.
I'm doing it right now. Since we're
I'm
done.
gonna have to run to Cracker Barrel or something. Crap.
My mom and dad have been eating black eyed peas for years, and if black eyed peas mean prosperity, they're doing it wrong. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you and good night.
See ya.